And I think the American people want better than that, want better than this, want someone who understands as I do. I travel our country. We see in each other a friend.
And we are live. Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. So I'm a bit late. I'm a bit late to the debate. I think I'm like 1 hour late. We'll watch it. We'll watch it back later, right? So we'll just continue. I wanted to watch it, and I wanted to stream. So I thought, why not stream it? Anyway, let's continue watching this.
Or the language their grandmother speaks, we all have the same dreams and aspirations and want a president who invests in those, not in hate and division.
Vice President Harris, thank you. Lindsay?
President Trump, this is now your third time.
This is the most divisive presidency in the history of our country. There's never been anything like it. They're destroying our country, and they come up with things like what she just said. Going back many, many years, when a lot of people, including Mayor
Yo,
Bloomberg,
Anthony,
agreed
what's up,
with
man?
me on the
Castro is,
Central
oh,
Park
yes.
5, they admitted.
Wait,
they
are you not
said
watching
they
it
pled guilty.
on your own?
And I said,
What's
well,
up,
if they
bro?
pled guilty, they badly hurt a person, killed a person ultimately. And if they pled guilty, then they pled, we're not guilty. But this is a person that has to
Oh,
stretch
you were?
back
Okay.
years,
Nice,
40, 50 years ago, because there's nothing now. I built one of the greatest economies in
But
the
this is
history
peak, yeah,
of the
this is
world.
peak, man. This
And
is
I'm going
peak
to build it
entertainment,
again.
bro.
It's going to be bigger, better, and stronger. But they're destroying our economy. They have no idea what a good economy is. Their oil policies, every single policy. And remember this, she is Biden. You know, she's trying to get away from Biden. I don't know the gentleman, she says. She is Biden. The worst inflation we've ever had, a horrible economy because inflation has made it so bad, and she can't get away with that.
Thank you. Your time is up,
I
Lindsay.
want to respond to that, though. I want to just respond briefly. Clearly, I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump. And what I do offer is a new generation of leadership for our country, one who believes in what is possible, one who brings a sense of optimism about what we can do instead of always disparaging the American people. I believe in what we can do to strengthen our small businesses, which is why I have a plan. Let's talk about our plans and let's compare the plans. I have a plan to give startup businesses $50,000 tax deduction, to pursue their ambitions, their innovation, their ideas, their hard work. I have a plan, $6,000 for young families for the first year of your child's life, to help you in that most critical stage of your child's development. I have a plan that is about allowing people to be able to pursue what has been fleeting in terms of the American dream by offering a help with down payment of $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers. That's the kind of conversation, I believe, David, that people really want tonight, as opposed to a conversation that is constantly about belittling and name-calling. Let's turn the page
Vice President
and move
Harris,
forward.
thank you. Let's turn to policy.
President
Let's turn
Trump,
back
we
to
have
policy.
to move on. President Trump,
Let's turn to policy,
She has
please.
a plan to defund the police. She has a plan to confiscate everybody's gun.
President Trump,
she
we
has
do
a
have to
plan
move
to
on to
not
other
allow
issues.
fracking in Pennsylvania or anywhere else.
Okay. Thank
you,
That's
Mr.
what her
President.
plan is until just recently.
I just need
Lindsay,
to
go ahead.
respond
President
because
Trump,
the
President
former
Trump.
president has said
No, I'm
something
sorry.
twice that I need to
no,
respond to.
I'm sorry.
I
We're
just
going
need
to
to
move on,
respond
Vice
one
President
time
Harris.
to what he
President
has said
Trump, this
multiple
is
times.
now your
Yes.
third time running for president. You have long vowed to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. You have failed to accomplish that. You now say you're going to keep Obamacare, quote, unless we can do something much better.
Correct.
Last month, you said, quote, we're working on it. So tonight, 9 years after you first started running, do you have a plan, and can you tell us what it is?
Obamacare was lousy health care, always was. It's not very good today. And what I said, that if we come up with something, and we are working on things, we're going to do it and we're going to replace it. But remember this, I inherited Obamacare because Democrats wouldn't change it. They wouldn't vote for it. They were unanimous.
Can you
They
add
wouldn't
some
vote
best
to
of
change
clips?
it. If
Gasto
they would
is
have
no,
done
I
that,
can't,
we would have had a
bro.
much
Oh, you.
better plan than Obamacare. But the Democrats came up, they wouldn't vote for
Hey, you can't just watch this long form debate. Bro, try. Bro, Your future depends on it. God damn, man.
let it rot. And I felt I had an obligation, even though politically it would have been good to just let it rot and let it go away.
I don't know. Maybe I'll watch. Not watch. Maybe I'll play Minecraft in the background. We'll see. Wait.
In that administration, we read about the bad ones. We had some real bad ones too, and so do they. They have really bad ones. The difference is they don't get rid of
Hey,
it. But let
Second
me
Blade,
just
what's up, bro?
explain. I had a choice to make. Do I save it?
You can't
and
just
make
mute
it
the
as
debate.
Good as it can be,
I mean, I
or do
can't. I
let
just
it
did,
rot?
like, because-
And I saved
Hey,
it.
it's fine,
I did
it's
the
fine.
right thing, but it's still never going to be great, and it's too expensive for people. And what we will do is we're looking at different plans. If we can come up with a plan that's going to cost our people, our population, less money and be better health care than Obamacare, then I would absolutely do it. But until then, I'd run it as good as it can be run.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan.
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now. But if we come up with something, I would only change it if we come up with something that's better and less expensive. And there are concepts and options we have to do that. And you'll be hearing about it in the not too distant future.
Vice President Harris, in 2017, you supported Bernie Sanders' proposal to do away with private insurance and create a government-run healthcare system. 2 years later, you proposed a plan that included a private insurance option. What is your plan today?
Well, first of all, I absolutely support, and over the last 4 years as vice president, private healthcare options. But what we need to do is maintain and grow the Affordable Care Act. But I'll get to that, Lindsay. I just need to respond to a previous point that the former president has made. I've made very clear my position on fracking. And then this business about taking everyone's guns away. Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop with the continuous lying about this stuff. As it relates to the Affordable Care Act, understand, just look at the history to know where people stand. When Donald Trump was president, 60 times he tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. 60 times. I was a senator at the time when I will never forget the early morning hours when it was up for a vote in the United States Senate. And the late, great John McCain, who you have disparaged as being, you don't like him, you said, at the time because he got caught. He was an American hero. The late, great John McCain, I will never forget that night, walked onto the Senate floor and said, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't get rid of the Affordable Care Act. You have no plan. And what the Affordable Care Act has done is eliminate the ability of insurance companies to deny people with pre-existing conditions. I don't have to tell the people watching tonight, you remember what that was like? Remember when an insurance company could deny if a child had asthma, if someone was a breast cancer survivor, if a grandparent had diabetes? And thankfully, as I've been vice president and we, over the last 4 years, have strengthened the Affordable Care Act, we have allowed for the first time Medicare to negotiate drug prices on behalf of you, the American people. Donald Trump said he was going to allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices. He never did. We did. And now we have capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month. Since I've been vice president, we have capped the cost of prescription medication for seniors at $2,000 a year. And when I am president, we will do that for all people, understanding that the value I bring to this is that access to health care should be a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it. And the plan has to be to strengthen the Affordable Care Act, not get rid of it,
Vice
pass this
President
prologue
Harris, thank
in terms
you.
of where Donald Trump stands on that.
I want to move to an issue that's important for a
She
lot
made
of...
a mistake. Number one, John McCain fought Obamacare for 10 years. But it wasn't only him. It were all of the Democrats that kept it going. And you know what? We can do much better than Obamacare, much less money. But she won't improve private insurance for people, private medical insurance. That's another thing she doesn't want to get.
President
People
Trump-
are paying privately for insurance that have worked hard and made money, and they want to have private. She wants everybody to be on government insurance where you wait 6 months for an operation that you need immediately.
President Trump, thank you. We have another issue that we'd like to get to that's important for a number of Americans, in particular younger voters, and that's climate change. President Trump, with regard to the environment, you say that we have to have clean air and clean water. Vice President Harris, you call climate change an existential threat. The question to you both tonight is, what would you do to fight climate change? And Vice President Harris, we'll start with you. 1 minute for you each.
Well, the former president had said the climate change is a hoax. And what we know is that it is very real. You ask anyone who lives in a state who has experienced these extreme weather occurrences, who now is either being denied home insurance or it's being jacked up. You ask anybody who has been the victim of what that means in terms of losing their home, having nowhere to go. We know that we can actually deal with this issue. The young people of America care deeply about this issue. And I am proud that as vice president over the last 4 years, we have invested $1 trillion in a clean energy economy while we have also increased domestic gas production to historic levels. We have created over 800,000 new manufacturing jobs while I have been vice president. We have invested in clean energy to the point that we are opening up factories around the world. Donald Trump said he was going to create manufacturing jobs. He lost manufacturing jobs. And I'm also proud to have the endorsement of the United Auto Workers and Sean Fain, who also know that part of building a clean energy economy includes investing in American-made products, American automobiles. It includes growing what we can do around American manufacturing and opening up auto plants, not closing them like happened under Donald Trump.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
It didn't happen under Donald Trump. Let me just tell you, they lost 10,000.
I'm wondering why the
manufacturing
third
jobs
candidate
this
in the
last
top
month.
right won't
It's going,
answer any
they're all
question.
leaving.
Yeah, Gaster is.
They're building big auto plants
Well,
in
I'm just trying
Mexico.
to-
In many cases, owned
Bro,
by
Kamala is
China.
doing well,
They're
actually,
building
like-
these massive plants, and they think they're going to sell their cars into the United States.
You know,
because
like
of
2016
these
Trump
people. What
would
they
have just
given to China
destroyed
is
Kamala, but
unbelievable.
now
But we're
Trump
not gonna
changed,
let
right?
that. We'll
I can
put
see that, like,
tariffs on
Trump
those
changed.
cars so they
I
can't
remember
come
the
into our
2016
country
debate,
because
man.
they
That was
will
epic.
kill
Like,
United
epic,
Auto
next
Workers
level
and any
shit.
auto worker, whether
No
it's
wonder he
in
won that
Detroit
time.
or South Carolina or any other place.
This time
what
I'm-
they've done to business and manufacturing
so
in
sure,
this
bro.
country
Not so
is
sure.
horrible. We have nothing because they refuse. You know, Biden doesn't go after people because supposedly China paid him millions of dollars. He's afraid to do it. Between him and his son, they get all this money from Ukraine. They get all this money from all of these different countries. And then you wonder, why is he so loyal to this one, that one, Ukraine, China? Why is he? Why did he get $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife? Why did she pay him $3.5 million? This is a crooked administration, and they're selling our country down the tubes.
President Trump, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with closing statements from both of our candidates. An historic night, this ABC News presidential debate from Philadelphia. Back in a moment.
Okay. Shit. It's been running for like 1 hour, is it? Wait, Baywatch is still going on? I did not know that. Okay, this is like an ad. Oh, this is the old Baywatch. Fine. Yep. This stream is a little early for you, isn't it? No, not really, bro. Here it's like 8 in the morning. I plan on like getting up at 6 in the morning and try to stream it from the beginning, but I couldn't. I slept late yesterday. Hey, Joki Vijay, happy birthday! Happy birthday, bro, for you. I don't know whose birthday is it. When I'm trying to get the Rumble stream running, but I can't. I don't know whose birthday. Yeah, someone's birthday will be there, right? So you are just wishing in advance. Nice, man, nice. How considerate of Joki Vijay to be. So why am I not able to stream this? Wait, why am I watching? Why are we watching the advertisement? Shit. Wait, change it. Change it. Yeah, guys, regarding the Jokyuj saying you're working on another strike. Wait, I don't think it's a crime to watch news. The song is a crime, bro. Song is a crime. Even the some shorts we watched yesterday, right? Even that was supposed that gave me copyright strike. I had to like mute everything. That's Subish. You know what? Maybe you're right. Hey, why am I not able to do this? I've been trying to set up the Rumble stream from the past 10 minutes, but okay. Wait, we are back again, right? Okay, we are back again. Yep, something happened. The OBS crashed. Wait, so she's saying go play Minecraft. I will. Like it's gonna end, right? We'll just watch the ending statement, then we'll do it. Fine. Channel check. Yeah, I can do that. Wait. We are back. We are back. We are back. Wait.
Lindsay Davis.
Welcome back tonight. The time has come for closing statements, and Vice President Harris, we begin with you.
So I think you've heard tonight two very different visions for our country. One that is focused on the future, and the other that is focused on the past, and an attempt to take us backward. But we're not going back. And I do believe that the American people know we all have
take
so
me
much
back to
more in common
2016.
than what
Everything was
separates us.
fine. Take
And
me
we
back
can
to
chart
2016.
a new way forward. And a vision of that includes having a plan, understanding the aspirations, the dreams, the hopes, the ambition of the American people, which is why I intend to create an opportunity economy, investing in small businesses, in new families, in what we can do around protecting seniors, what we can do that is about giving hardworking
Stop this
folks a
news.
break and bringing down the cost
So,
of
wish
living.
you stop the stream.
I believe in what we can do together that is about sustaining America's standing in the world and ensuring that we have the respect that we so rightly deserve, including respecting our military and ensuring we have the most lethal fighting force in the world. I will be a president that will protect our fundamental rights and freedoms, including the right of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government
When
tell
did
her
you become
what to
based?
do. I'll tell you, I
As
started
always
my
based,
career
man.
as a
I had to go to
prosecutor. I
school.
was a DA.
Yeah,
I
Subish,
was an
stop
attorney
it.
general,
Anyway, you don't.
United States
It doesn't
Senator,
concern
and now
you,
Vice
right?
President. I've only had one client, the people. And I'll tell you, as a prosecutor, I never asked a victim or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them, are you okay? And that's the kind of president we need right now. Someone who cares about you and is not putting themselves first. I intend to be a president for all Americans and focus on what we can do over the next 10 and 20 years to build back up our country by investing right now in you, the American people.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
Bannon.
President Trump.
So she just started by saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it? She's been there for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. They've had 3.5 years to create jobs and all the things we
Don't let
talked
him
about.
tell you what to do. Stand up
Why
yourself. I
hasn't
am, Brian.
she done it? She should
Exactly.
leave right now, go down to that beautiful White House, go to the Capitol, get everyone together and do the things you want to do, but you haven't done it, and you won't do it because you believe in things that the American people don't believe in. You believe in things like we're not going to frack. We're not going to take fossil fuel. We're not going to do things that are going to make this country strong, whether you like it or not. Germany tried that, and within 1 year, they were back to building normal energy plants. We're not ready for it. We can't sacrifice our
You are your own
country
person. Yes,
for
I
the
am.
sake of bad vision. But I just ask one simple question. Why didn't she do it? We're a failing nation. We're a nation.
Yeah, last
that's
4
in
years,
serious
Kamal has
decline.
been on
We're being
the
laughed
White
at
House
all
for the
over
last
world.
4
All
years.
over the world, they're laughing. I know the leaders very well. They're coming to see me. They call me. We're laughed at all over the world. They don't understand what happened to us as a nation. We're not a leader. We don't have any idea what's going on. We have wars going on in the Middle East. We have wars going on with Russia and Ukraine. We're going to end up in a third world war, and it'll be a war like no other because of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away to the Taliban. She gave it to Afghanistan. What these people have done to our country, and maybe toughest of all, is allowing millions of people to come into our country. Many of them are criminals, and they're destroying our country. The worst president, the worst vice president in the history of our country.
President Trump, thank you. And that is our ABC News presidential debate from here in Philadelphia at the National Constitution Center. I'm Lindsay Davis.
And I'm David Muir. Thank you for watching here in the U.S. and all over the world, and from all of us here at ABC News. Good night.
Okay.
And we are here live on ABC.
That was fun. You know what? Hey, good thing Trump asked the question. See, Kamal has been saying what we can, like what she'll do once she become president in the next 20 years, how she can build the country back. Fine. The country was fine 4 years ago. The country was fine 4 years ago. And when everything went to shit, you were in the White House. You are still in the White House. You are the second most powerful person in US, and you are still not able to do anything to change. And now you want people to elect you again for the next 4 years so that you will change something. Sure, bro, sure. 4 years ago, speak COVID, it was not fine 4 years ago. Oh, Gastoiz, you believe in that? Bro, Gastoiz, no. When I say it was fine 4 years ago, I mean like in terms of prices, in terms of inflation, border crisis, random violence, crime. What else? So many things. World peace. Like there was no war during. There was no war, right? During. Okay, not no war. Not really. Not that much world turmoil when Trump was in office. Remember? After that, right? Afghanistan, Israel, then Ukraine. All these problems came during Joe Biden. I found the YouTube has gave 15-minute trick to small channel foot boot. Okay, that part I don't get it. Subish, what do you mean? Okay, guys. Okay, let's just wait. I have to end the stream, right? I'll end the stream. I'll restart with a different title. Fine. Can I change it in between? I think I can change it in between. Wait, I can. I know I said your own person, but please ban him. Oh, okay. No, I can't, bro. I can't. Like, I literally can't ban Subish because then I'll be here for the next 3 hours banning Subish because he have, I don't know, some 8,000 channels, man. We went through this path before. Gastois, we went through this path before. Subish can never be banned, bro. Guys, you know what? I'll end this stream. I'll restart with a separate one for Minecraft. Why can't I find my Minecraft streams? As you can still see, I'm still kind of sleepy. I just woke up and I just remembered, oh shit, I'm late. I'm late for the debate. I missed the beginning part, right? Should we just watch the beginning part? You know what? I think I'll just watch. I'll just continue watching this. I'll watch the beginning. When did it start really? Okay, yeah.
Vice President Kamala Harris and President Donald Trump.
Kamala Harris. Let's have a good debate.
Nice to see you. Have fun.
Thank you.
Welcome to you both. It's wonderful to have you. It's an honor to have you both here tonight.
Good evening. We are looking forward to a spirited and thoughtful debate.
So let's get started. I want to begin tonight with the issue that voters repeatedly say is their number one issue, and that is the economy and the cost of living in this country. Vice President Harris, you and President Trump were elected 4 years ago, and your opponent on the stage here tonight
Wait.
often asks his supporters, are
Wait, did he just say you and Trump?
you better
What?
years ago than the cost of living in this country? Vice President Harris, you and President Trump were elected 4 years ago, and your opponent on the stage
Yep. He said it wrong. You and Biden got elected 4 years ago. Who gave him his job, man? What the
here
heck?
tonight often asks his supporters, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? When it comes to the economy, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
So I was raised as a middle-class kid.
It's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question. Just say yes or no. Is the American people better off now or 4 years ago? Just yes or no. Bro really said he'll be there banning me for 3 hours. Yeah, I know, bro. I know. Subesh, I know 3 hours is much less. I'm pretty sure I'll be here for like more than days. I'll be here days banning Subesh if I ever try. That's why I'm not banning you, right?
And I am actually the only person on this stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class and working people of America. I believe
Okay. Someone question her. Does she? Okay, she have a plan, right? Why are you not doing it now? You can do it. You can still do it. You have still 2 more months to do something. You had 4 years to do it. The plan.
in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people. And that is why I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy. Because here's the thing. We know
Go back. I wanna hear him say Trump elected 4 years ago. Did you not hear that? Wait, bro, wait.
Living in this country. Vice President Harris, you and President Trump were elected 4 years ago, and your opponent on the stage here tonight often asks his supporters, are you
You and Trump elected 4 years ago. He meant to say you, Vice President, and President, which is Biden, right? There was a slip up. Wait, was it a slip up? Wait, let me
better
wait.
years ago the cost of living
Wait,
in this
wait,
country? Vice President Harris, you and President Trump were elected 4 years ago, and your opponent on the stage here tonight often asks his supporters,
I heard it right. I heard it right. Good for you. Like you could be here banning me for 4 to 7 hours.
in the ambition, the aspirations, and working people of America. I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people. And that is why I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy. Because here's the thing. We know that we have a shortage of homes and housing, and the cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people. We know
You
that young
think-
families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a
You know what? This, right? This is bad. This is exactly what happened during COVID also. Like giving out money to people won't work. Wait, when will they? Wait, is there not a like economist on their team or anything? Like, why is this not gonna work, man? This is only gonna increase the inflation. Hey, why do you think the inflation happened in the first place? It's because of the quantitative easing. And again, they are planning to give out more money, like saying we'll give out money, so vote for us. That's their plan actually. We'll give you money, so please vote for us. So that's gonna backfire. I'm telling you, that's gonna backfire. Like, but the people won't understand it, right? I'm pretty sure even she doesn't understand. Oh fuck. It's fine.
long time, so that
Wait, I think today I need to create 12 more account. Yeah, do it, Subish, do it. Like,
that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children.
yeah, no one's buying a crib with $25,000 down payment. What are you gonna buy?
My passion, one of them, is small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me, but there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small businesses. My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to start up small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on the other hand, his plan is to do what he has done before, which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations,
Buy a BMW to get one vote.
which will result in $5 trillion to America's deficit. My opponent has a plan that I call the Trump's sales tax, which would be a 20% tax
Tell this, shut the fuck up. Yeah, Subish, buddy. Bro, if you don't know anything regarding the topic, just don't say anything. And just stop saying random shit. You're pissing Gastois off, man.
on everyday goods that you rely on to get through the month.
Okay, so regarding her point against Trump, right? Like, Trump is for the corporations and not supporting small business. That's not right. So every small business, right? Every business aspires to be a big business, and if he is planning to reduce the tax for corporations, that's actually for the business actually. Then end the stream. No, I won't. Time voters for spam, I beg you, bro. There is no point in. Okay, Subish, start, bro, start. But I'm telling you, this is not his main account. Like, even if I time him out, he'll just come in next account. There's no point in timing him out. And he'll go to school. He'll have to go to school, right? We'll wait till then.
Economists have said that Trump sales tax would actually result for middle-class families in about $4,000 more a year because of his policies and his ideas about what should be the backs of middle-class people paying for tax cuts for billionaires.
President Trump, I'll give you 2 minutes.
First of all, I have no sales tax. That's an incorrect statement. She knows that. We're doing tariffs on other countries. Other countries are going to finally, after 75 years, pay us back for all that we've done for the world. And the tariff will be substantial in some cases. I took in billions and billions of dollars, as you know, from China. In fact, they never took the tariff off because there was so much money they can't. It would totally destroy everything that they've set out to do. They're taking in billions of dollars from China and other places. They've left the tariffs on. When I had it, I had tariffs, and yet I had no inflation.
The point, right? The point. Did you guess what? What, bro? Tell what? I have 20 more minutes. Oh, that means we have to suffer this, huh? Hey, you know what? I can just do this. Wait, 1 minute. Gastois, I can do this, right? Wait. You don't have to watch him. Where is he? Ta-da! Regarding the tariffs, so that's the best way. Like, increasing the tariffs for China was the best move to support small businesses. But the Biden administration revoked it, right? Whatever Trump did with that, like he's saying.
Look, we've had a terrible economy because inflation which is really known as a country buster. It breaks up countries. We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before, probably the worst in our nation's history. We were at 21%, but that's being generous because many things are 50, 60, 70, and 80% higher than they were just a few years ago. This has been a disaster for people, for the middle class, but for every class. On top of that, we have...
Wait, she just did this? Did she just do this? No, that's right. What do you mean, no?
Millions of people pouring into our country from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums. And they're coming in and they're taking jobs that are occupied right now by African Americans and Hispanics, and also unions. Unions are going to be affected very soon. And you see what's happening. You see what's happening with towns throughout the United States. You look at Springfield, Ohio. You look at Aurora in Colorado. They are taking over the towns. They're taking over buildings. They're going in violently. These are the people
See, this topic, right, regarding the open border and people, illegal immigrants. So the word is illegal, but nobody actually picks up on it, like especially Democrats purposely. So he is not against migration. He's like, yeah, apply, become a citizen, then do migration. Like legal migration is fine. Like it was fine. Trump always said legal migration is fine, and America do need more workers. He said that, but the Democrats always say he's against migration. No, he's not. That's what he was even he's saying. Like illegal part is the problem, and Harris over here is like no, no. She's like doing the no, no, no. Why? Why can't you just acknowledge that, right? A problem
that
exists.
she and Biden led into our country, and they're destroying our country. They're dangerous. They're at the
This point, right? This point is actually it's been validated by people like who are working in the border patrol, like employees risking their job and all. Even yesterday there was an interview. So whenever there is like Democrats over there, they are very loose in terms of the laws regarding migration. Not just migration, illegal migration through the border. But of course, she's gonna deny that.
highest
We'll see.
level of criminality, and we have to get them out. We have to get them out fast. I created one of the greatest economies in the history of our country. I'll do it again and even better.
We are going to get to immigration.
It was. Wait, who's gonna deny that, right? 2016 till 2020, before the COVID, everything was fine. Like gas price was like almost at the lowest. Gas reserves was at the highest. It was peace. Like Trump had a very healthy relationship with everyone, right? Even North Korea. Trump had a very healthy relationship with North Korea, Putin. Then yeah, Afghanistan was there. Afghanistan, the problem existed, but that was not from him. He didn't start it. He was actually planning to get rid of it.
Immigration and border security during this debate, but I would like to let Vice President Harris respond on the economy here.
Well, I would love to. Let's talk about what Donald Trump left us. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression.
Because of COVID. Wait, why is she not saying that part?
Donald
Wait, Subish, are you like, oh wait, are you really revealing all your accounts? Don't do it, bro. Subish, don't do it, bro. Don't do it. You are tempting me. My trigger finger is twitching. Don't do it, bro. Don't reveal all your accounts, please.
Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century. Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. And what we have done is clean up Donald Trump.
Okay, she just brought up January 6th. That was not the question. It was an economic question. January 6th is not part of this. That's it. On me, bro. I'll fix this. Hey, Gastes, what's up, man? Yeah, I don't think I'll do that, bro. It's fine.
Trump's mess. What we have done and what I intend to do is build on what we know are the aspirations and the hopes of the American people. But I'm going to tell you all in this debate tonight, you're going to hear from the same old tired playbook.
He just brought up a bunch of questions. The question was regarding the economic thing. What are you going to do?
Bunch
Or
of lies,
reply on that. She just brought up January 6th. Why did... Okay. I'm
grievances,
pissed off now.
and name calling. What you're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends on implementing if he were elected again. I believe very strongly that the American people want a president who understands the importance of bringing us together, knowing we have so much more in common than what separates us. And I pledge to you to be a president for all Americans.
President Trump will give you a minute here to respond.
Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people that got together. They came up with some ideas, I guess some good, some bad, but it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do. Cut taxes very substantially and create a great economy like I did before. We had the greatest economy. We got hit with a pandemic, and the pandemic was not since 1917, where 100 million people died, has there been anything like it. We did a phenomenal job with the pandemic. We handed them over a country where the economy and where the stock market was higher than it was before the pandemic came in. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We made ventilators for the entire world. We got gowns, we got masks, we did.
Gastois, I just did. You try to deal with it, bro. Try banning 700 accounts. Sorry, Subish. It had to be done, man. It had to be done.
Things that nobody thought possible. And people give me credit for rebuilding the military. They give me credit for a lot of things, but not enough credit for the great job we did with the pandemic. But the only jobs they got were bounce back jobs. These were jobs bounce back, and it bounced back and it went to their benefit. But I was the one that created them. They know it, and so does everybody else.
Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond.
So Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about
And you have a plan, right? And you have a plan. Even now, you have a plan. Why are you not doing anything with it? Why did you not do anything with it for the last 4 years? Why do the people have to elect you for the next 4 years so that you can do your plan, which you already have? Okay, you know what? Let's just okay. Granted, Donald Trump don't have a plan. Fine, sure. What about your plan?
tax breaks for the richest people. I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy, and the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse, mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit. 16 Nobel
Oh yeah, Goldman Sachs and the school. Yeah, sure. Yeah, your people said you will do good. Yeah, and sure. We believe that. I mean, the company, right? The company and the college which she's mentioning are all like heavily influenced by Democrats and liberals. So
laureates have described his economic plan as something that would increase inflation and by the middle of next year would invite a recession. You just have to look at where we
and who started this? She is not taking responsibility, any accountability for her actions, man. Like, not just her, like Biden also. I'm saying, like, who did that? Like, why isn't it gonna? It's not like, let's say he won and then in next 6 months a recession comes. It's not because he won. It's because what you did for the last 4 years.
are and where we stand on the issues. And I'd invite you to know.
Subish, I'm gonna go school if you remove him. You're gonna be here for a long time, Subish. You started pissing me off. I don't know. I didn't even want to make anyone mode, but you made me, bro. You made me.
That Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
Wait, did she just say he has more in defending himself? Bro, he took a bullet. He took a bullet for the country and he's still running. And he's still going against the bullshit. He don't have to do that. He's a billionaire, right? He can just simply go somewhere, be on a yacht, play golf for the rest of his life. He's fine. He's doing all this. He's not defending himself. What do you mean?
I'm glad they gave her that to say. Look, I went to the Wharton School of Finance, and many of those professors, the top professors, think my plan is a brilliant plan. It's a great plan. It's a plan that's going to bring up our worth, our value as a country. It's going to make people want to be able to go and work and create jobs and create a lot of good, solid money for our country. And just to finish off, she doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences, like run, spot, run. 4
Hey,
sentences.
Subish.
that are
What's up,
just,
bro? What's up, bro?
Oh, we'll try and lower taxes. She doesn't have a plan. Take a look at her plan. She doesn't have a plan.
Mr. President, I do want to drill down.
Even he could have said this, right? Even if she had a plan, she still have a plan. What is she doing with it? And where is America right now?
something you both brought up. The vice president brought up your tariffs. You responded, and let's drill down on this because your plan is what she calls is essentially a national sales tax. Your proposal calls for tariffs, as you pointed out here, on foreign imports across the board. You recently said that you might double your plan, imposing tariffs up to 20% on goods coming into this country.
Yeah, to promote businesses inside the country. Why people are not getting this? We, like India, right? We had that till 1990. Wait, was it till 1990 or 1991? We actually had heavy taxation to promote Indian industries. That's what he wanted to do, so that he can stop the inexpensive good coming from China. Okay.
As you know, many economists say that with tariffs at that level, costs are then passed on to the consumer. Vice President Harris has argued it'll mean higher prices on gas, food, clothing, medication, arguing it costs the typical family nearly $4,000 a year. Do you believe Americans can afford higher prices because of tariffs?
They're not gonna-
I'm having a debate challenge in school today. Yeah, Subish, buddy, I know it's you, right? I mean, I know it's you, right? I just want to clear that, so. It's fine.
Going to have higher prices. What's going to have and who's going to have higher prices is China and all of the countries that have been ripping us off for years. I was the only president ever. China was paying us hundreds of billions of dollars, and so were other countries. And, if she doesn't like them, they should have gone out and they should have immediately cut the tariffs. But those tariffs are there 3.5 years now under their administration. We are going to take in billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars. I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation perhaps in the history of our country because I've never seen a worse period of time. People can't go out and buy cereal or bacon or eggs or anything else. The people of our country are absolutely dying with what they've done. They've destroyed the economy. And all you have to do is look at a poll. The polls say 80 and 85 and even 90% that the Trump economy was great, that their economy was terrible.
Vice President Harris, I do want to ask for your response, and you heard what the president said there, because the Biden administration did keep a number of the Trump tariffs in place. So how do you respond?
Well, let's be clear that the Trump administration resulted in a trade deficit, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America. He invited trade wars. You want to talk about his deal with China? What he ended up doing is...
You know what? I have to give it, man. Like, she is clever. Like, not clever. Like, she is smart. She is a smart lady. I'm not going to deny that. You can see, right, how she didn't touch any point, like, which he mentioned regarding the inflation during their term, like Biden and Harris. Like, it's there. They are still ruling, right? Okay. I have to give props to Kamala, bro.
Under Donald Trump's presidency, he ended up selling American chips to China to help them improve and modernize their military, basically sold us out, when a policy about China should be in making sure the United States of America wins the competition for the 21st century, which means focusing on the details of what that requires, focusing on...
Wait, Gastes, what are you saying? Wait, have we gotten to the part where Trump says people are coming to America and eating cats and dogs? Oh wait, did he say that? I didn't see it, bro. I didn't see it. You saw when I started, right? It was towards then. Did he say it in between? We'll watch.
Relationships with our allies,
Maybe it's
focusing
later.
on investing in American-based technology so that we win the race on AI, on quantum computing, focusing on what we need to do to support America's...
Why is she randomly bringing up buzzwords which has nothing to do with the debate or the topic being discussed? You know what? I'm getting the feeling like this is like a smart person. I'm actually getting the feeling when I was in like business school, right? Where during debates and there are some debates which have some scores with it. So to get the participation score, it's called CP, class participation. It's a mark, right? For that, people just randomly bring up buzzwords and say yap for a bit. I'm getting that vibes from her. Not gonna lie.
workforce so that we don't end up having on the short end of the stick in terms of workers' rights. But what Donald Trump did.
You got CP in class. Yeah, CP is like class participation, right? It's like a credit system, like in a subject, right? In a subject, class participation is part of the final marks. So yeah, that is CP. What else is CP means, bro? Casto is.
Let's talk about this with COVID, is he actually thanked President Xi for what he did during COVID. Look at his tweet. Thank you, President Xi, exclamation point, when we know that Xi was responsible for lacking and not giving us transparency about the origins of COVID.
President Trump, I'll let you respond.
First of all, they bought their chips from Taiwan. We hardly make chips anymore because of philosophies like they have and policies like they have. I don't say her because she has no policy. Everything.
That is fun. Okay, you know what? I'm getting the 2016 Trump is back, bro. 2016 Trump is back. He just says like 2016 Trump, right? Remember like the Hillary debate? He just calls like without any diplomacy. He's not a politician, right? He's a businessman who calls bullshit when he sees it. The same thing he just did. She has no policies.
That she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window. She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy. But if she ever got elected, she'd change it. And it will be the end of our country. She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well. But when you look at what she's done to our country, and when you look at these millions and millions of people that are pouring into our country monthly, where it's, I believe, 21 million people, not the 15 that people say, and I think it's a lot higher than the 21, that's bigger than...
Wait, I think having CP is a felony. Bro, CP is class participation. What is the CP you are talking about? Guys, I don't know the other CP, bro. CP is like a term which people use in like class participation. I told you, right? It's a component in the final marks in a subject. I don't know what is the CP you're talking about. You got CP in class. Okay, I'm missing something, bro. I'm missing something.
The New York State.
Look it up, bro. I'll look it up.
Just look at what they're doing to our country. They're criminals. Many of these people coming in are criminals. And that's bad for our economy, too. You know, you mentioned before, we'll talk about immigration later. Well, bad immigration is the worst thing that can happen to our economy. They have, and she has, destroyed our country with policy that's insane. Almost policy that you'd say they have to hate our country.
President Trump.
Can she deny that? I'm pretty sure she won't deny or agree. She's gonna deflect. She's gonna very cleverly navigate through the point. I've told you, right? She's smart. She's smart. I'll give that to her.
Thank you. Lindsay?
I want to turn to the
Wait.
issue of abortion.
Oh, wait, she's not responding. Better, even better. Damn.
President Trump, you've often touted that you were able to kill Roe v. Wade. Last year, you said that you were proud to be the most pro-life president in American history. Then last month, you said that your administration would be great for women and their reproductive rights. In your home state of Florida, you surprised many.
Yeah, regarding Roe v. Wade, I'm like, why is it even part of the political agenda? Like, why is it like a talking point in elections? Guys, I'm telling you, like this thing, right? Pro-choice, pro-life, pro-choice thing. It's only there in US, man. Nowhere else people is talking like who can kill babies as part of their campaign. Damn.
With regard to your 6-week abortion ban, because you initially had said that it was too short. And you said, quote, I'm going to be voting that we need more than 6 weeks. But then the very next day, you reversed course and said you would vote to support the 6-week ban. Vice President Harris...
I'm like, why is it even part of the campaign, right? Why are we having that discussion over here? Okay, sure.
says that women shouldn't trust you on the issue.
Only in US. I'm telling you, look it up. Only in US. Nowhere else. Nowhere else. This is like a point in politics anywhere.
Because you've changed your position so many times. Therefore, why should they trust you?
Well, the reason I'm doing that vote is because the plan is, as you know, the vote is, they have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of West Virginia, the previous governor of West
whether women can get abortions or not is a big issue. I'm saying it's an issue, it's a social issue, it's not a political issue, which is okay. If it's a big issue, like you said, it's like a national issue, like let's say World War III, or being the most powerful country, and border crisis or crime or anything. Let's say it's as big as issue as that. Why is it not part of any political agenda in any other country other than US? Think, bro, think, just think. They are just taking like random things like to radicalize people. I'm telling you, man. Well, politicians in America have say over it. America is what I'm saying. Even here, yeah, people elect people, and the elected people are making rules or laws regarding that. But it's not an election campaign. It's not a point that have that much. They have power. Even every other country, even in India, right? Politicians do make laws regarding this topic. I'm saying then, okay, then why not? Why are they not saying what? Let's say about road rules or any other rules or any of the other 1,000 rules. Why are they not making that part of the political campaign? You know what I'm saying, right? I'm not saying they don't have power. They are not the ones who are not making the rule. But I'm saying, why is it even regarding the Roe v. Wade, right? What it really did was take it off from the federal and gave it to the states. Which was it would have been like that from the beginning itself. Why was it even part of the federal government, right? It shouldn't be under the purview of the federal government. From the beginning, it shouldn't have been, because they have set in stone for years. Set in stone what?
West Virginia, not
You got what I'm saying, right? Like it being part of the main political agenda. Bro, border crisis, crime rate, drug epidemic, then World War III, giving money to random countries like Ukraine and all, and US fighting wars for every other country except for US. All these are like important issues which are important in the federal level. You know the difference, right? Even in, like, let's take example of India, because I can talk more about it. There are issues like which are stated in the constitution, which are part of the states and which are part of the India as a whole. So same, I think it's the similar in US also. Issues that are important for the federal level, like as a whole, and for states. And I'm saying this should have been with the states in the beginning itself. And that's what even Roe v. Wade did, right? Roe v. Wade just took it off the federal level and gave the power to the states. And still they are talking about who can kill babies, man.
the current governor is doing an excellent job. But the governor before, he said the baby will be born and we will decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll execute the baby. And that's why
I very well know why they're taking this point. They just wanna appeal to the masses with emotional. So like, yeah, like you are being emotional right now, not like that. You can feel that, right? I'm saying you can feel the, like, it's very important. I'm not saying it's not important. It's an emotional argument, bro. It's for the emotional argument. It's for the emotional vote. They are taking this. Both sides. I'm not saying even Republicans are any better at it.
that because that predominates, because they're radical. The Democrats are radical in that. And her vice presidential pick, which I think was a horrible pick, by the way, for our country, because he is really out of it. But her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine. He also says execution after birth. It's execution, no longer abortion, because the baby is born, is okay. And that's not okay with me, hence the vote. But what I did is something for 52 years. They've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states. And through the genius and heart and strength of 6 Supreme Court justices, we were able to do that. Now, I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. I believe strongly in it. Ronald Reagan did also. 85% of Republicans.
See this point, right, which he just mentioned. That's how it's there in every other country. In every other country, these exceptions are there. It's not like you can never do abortions. I don't even want to say that word, man. It's not like that. It's not like that. Even in Republicans' policies, it's not like that. But Democrats and liberals take it like you can never do that. It's not the case.
Republicans do. Exceptions, very important. But we were able to get it, and now states are voting on it. And for the first time, you're going to see, look, this is an issue that's torn our country apart for 52 years.
That is right. That is right. US, bro. Only in US. Only in US. Castos, think about it. Only in US, this is like a topic that has been discussed in federal level during an election debate. Think about that.
Every legal scholar, every Democrat, every Republican, liberal, conservative, they all wanted this issue to be brought back to the states where the people could vote. And that's what happened. Now, Ohio, the vote was somewhat liberal. Kansas, the vote was somewhat liberal, much more liberal than people would have thought. But each individual state is voting. It's the vote of the people now. It's not tied up in the federal government. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it.
Yeah, that's right. That's what happened with the Roe v. Wade. So they just gave the power to the state, and it should have been a state issue from the beginning. And now it is. Now it is. But still, Democrats are complaining, man. I don't know.
And
The people who talk about Roe v. Wade, right? I'm pretty sure they don't even know the what exact ruling of it is. I don't think whether someone can get an abortion should be in the government hands. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, why do you think Roe v. Wade happened? I agree. It should not be in the hands of the federal government. The state government, it should be, right. Like you said, politicians have power over so many rules are there, and there are so many rules as a whole. People choose people. People elect guys, right, to make rules for them. That's how democracy works. So when you say it shouldn't be in the government's hands, I agree. It shouldn't be in the federal government's hands. It is not. Right now, it's not. With Roe v. Wade, it's in the state's hand. And like Trump is saying, the people are electing. The elected persons in states are taking decisions on it, which is what people want. It is in the hands of the people. It's not in the hands of the government right now.
Supreme Court had great courage in doing it, and I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to President Trump.
Wait.
Well, as I said,
Why is she being an advocate for Kamala? Like she can make her own point, right? Why did the anger have to butt in and say this? You're just here to moderate, bro. Chill.
you're going to hear a bunch of lies, and that's not actually a surprising fact. Let's understand how we got here. Donald Trump
Tell me.
hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did exactly as he intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what that means. A survivor of a crime, a violation to their...
See, she's appealing to she's making the emotional argument again, man. This is what's gonna happen if she won. Oh my god. You saw the difference, right? When Trump was talking about the exception and when she's talking about the exception. Okay,
body
Kamala's gonna
does
win,
not
bro.
have the
Kamala's
right to
gonna
make a
win.
decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral. And one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body.
It's not Donald Trump. It's not. You are saying like Donald Trump is making the rule. It's not. She's saying that like you got what it's happening. You see what's happening, right? She's trying to make an emotional argument and directing all the negative things towards Trump as a guy. I mean, that's what she should be doing. She's doing the right thing as a candidate. But it's not like that.
I have talked with women.
The government officials in the state level are the elected. The people elect them and they do what the people want. So the people are doing what they want effectively. That's how democracy works.
Around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old...
Yeah, bringing up anecdotal examples like this to make an emotional argument. Yeah, good job, good job. But how many of the abortions will be like that, like what she just explained? That was actually like clearly an exception. And if you see like majority of the abortions which are happening, what people are doing are like borderline criminal, man. Like I don't even know. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna talk much because it's not my issue. I don't want to mess my mental state talking about this.
Survivor of incest? Being forced to carry a pregnancy to term? They don't want that.
He said that they shouldn't have to do that.
When Congress passes a bill to put back in place the
Trump clearly says, right, the exceptions in case of health of the mother or incest or the R word. He said that. He said those exceptions.
protections of Roe v. Wade. As
That's
President
not
of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. But understand, if Donald Trump were to be reelected, he will sign a national abortion ban. Understand, in his Project 2025, there would be a national abortion, a monitor that would be monitoring your pregnancies, your miscarriages.
Okay, so you are saying Trump's policies before Trump is saying that. So you are saying that's going to happen, like, you for sure you know that, right?
I think the American people believe that certain freedoms, in particular the freedom to make decisions about one's own body, should not be made by the government.
Thank you, Vice President Harris.
Well, there she goes again. It's a lie. I'm not signing a ban, and there's no reason to sign a ban because we've gotten what everybody wanted. Democrats, Republicans, and everybody else, and every legal scholar wanted it to be brought back into the states, and the states are voting. And it may take a little time, but for 52 years, this issue has torn our country apart, and they've wanted it back in the states. And I did something that nobody thought was possible. The states are now voting. What she says is an absolute lie. And as far as the abortion ban, no, I'm not in favor of abortion ban, but it doesn't matter because this issue has now been taken over by...
Yeah, like she said Trump is doing all this. He's saying he's not. The states are, the people in the states are doing, like, choosing what they want to do. Whether they want to ban, they can do that. If they don't want, they can do that. It's with the people. The people are choosing that.
By the states.
Would you veto a national abortion ban if it came
Well, I
to your
won't
desk?
have to because, again, two things.
Yeah,
Number
to
one,
veto it, it should be a federal thing. It's not a federal thing. It's a state thing. So you don't have to veto. It's not in the purview of the president now. With Roe v. Wade, like what Kamala is saying is that Trump gave it to their hands, and you think that's bad, bro? You think that's bad? You really think it should have been with the federal? It should have been with federal government, and the federal government should take decision on it. Is that what you are saying? So you are saying what exactly you said in the other thing. The government should have no say in this. The people should have say in it. I don't think it's bad, but that's what she's saying. Yeah.
she said she'll go back to Congress. She'll never get the vote. It's impossible for her to get the vote, especially
And I
now
think
with
it's a
the
good thing,
50-50 and essentially 50-50 in both Senate and the House. She's not going to get the vote. She can't get the vote. She won't even come close to it. So it's just talk. You know what it reminds me of? When they said they're going to get student loans terminated, and it ended up being a total catastrophe.
He brought the main point, man. Damn, bro, that was like the student loans, right? Waiving the student loans was a big talking point last time. They did nothing regarding that. People are pissed, bro. People are pissed. So many people actually woke up, because of that.
The student loans, and then I think probably her boss, if you call him a boss, he spends all his time on the beach. But look, her boss went out and said, we'll do it again. We'll do it a different way. And he went out, got rejected again by the Supreme.
That's what even she's saying, right? We did something. We did our policies for the last 4 years. And the next 4 years, if you elect us, we'll do it differently and we'll make it work this time. Sure. We believe you. Yeah.
Supreme Court. So all these students got taunted with this whole thing about this whole idea. And how unfair that would have been. Part of the reason they lost to the millions and millions of people that had to pay off their student loans. They didn't get it for free. But they were saying it's the same way that they talked about that. that they talk about abortion.
But if I could just get a yes or no, because your running mate, J.D. Vance, has said that you would veto it if it did come to your desk.
Well, I didn't discuss it with J.D. In all fairness, J.D. And I don't mind if he has a certain view, but I think he was speaking for me, but I really didn't. Look, we don't have to discuss it because she'd never be able to get it, just like she couldn't get student loans. They couldn't get student loans. They didn't even come close to getting student loans. They taunted young people and a lot of other people that had loans. They can never get this approved. So it doesn't matter what she says about going to Congress. Well, wonderful. Let's go to Congress. Do it. But the fact is that for years, they wanted to get it out of Congress and out of the federal government. And we did something that everybody said couldn't be done. And now you have a vote of the people on abortion.
Vice President Harris, want to give you your time to respond.
Which is what you said, right? I don't think whether someone can get an abortion should be in the government hands. It's not because of what he did. It's not in the government's hands anymore. It was with the federal government. Now it's not.
But I do want to ask, would you support any restrictions on a woman's right to an abortion?
I absolutely support reinstating the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as you rightly mentioned, nowhere in America is a woman carrying a pregnancy to term and asking for an abortion. That is not happening. It's insulting to the women of America. And understand what has been happening under Donald Trump's abortion bans. Couples who pray.
Okay. She's clever. She's clever saying Donald Trump's abortion ban. Donald Trump's abortion ban.
And dream of having a family are being denied IVF treatments. What is happening in our country? Working people, working women who are working 1 or 2 jobs, who can barely afford childcare as it is, have to travel to another state to get on a plane sitting next to strangers to go and get the health care she needs. Barely can afford to do it, and what you are putting her through is unconscionable. And the people of America have not, the majority of
What do you mean what he is putting her through? That was her decision to get pregnant in the first. You know what? This Democrats actually take all the responsibility and all the accountability from people, man. Liberals as a whole.
Believe in a woman's right to make decisions about her own body, and that is why in every state where this issue has been on the ballot, in red and blue states both, the people of America have voted for freedom.
Vice President Harris,
Excuse me, I
thank
have
you.
to respond. Another lie. It's another lie. I have been a leader on IVF, which is fertilization. The IVF, I have been a leader. In fact, when they got a very negative decision on IVF from the Alabama courts, I saw the people of Alabama and the legislature 2 days later voted it in. I've been a leader on it. They know that, and everybody else knows it. I have been a leader on fertilization, IVF. And the other thing, you should ask, will she allow abortion in the 8th month, 9th month, 7th month?
Come on.
Okay, would you do that?
Answer it.
Why don't you ask
Yes
why-
or no?
why don't you
Yes
ask
or no?
the problem?
Hey,
Would you
Because
nice.
under Roe v.
Press
Wade,
it. Press
you
it.
could-
You could do abortions in the 7th month, the 8th month, the 9th
That's
month,
not true.
and probably after birth. Just look at the governor, former governor of Virginia. The governor of Virginia said, we put the baby aside and then we determine what we want to do with the baby.
President Trump, thank you.
We're going to turn now to immigration.
She
and
didn't
border
answer it.
security.
She didn't answer it. You know, you saw that, right? She was actually kind of, she was tensed. They didn't let her answer it. Why did she just say yes or no? Just say yes or no, or give something. She didn't say anything. She didn't
No,
respond
it's
to
an
it.
issue that's important to Republicans, Democrats, voters across the board in this country. Vice President Harris, you were tasked by President Biden with getting to the root causes of migration from Central America. We know that illegal border crossings reached a record high in the Biden administration.
Okay, so we are acknowledging that, right? Thank you. That's all I wanted. We are acknowledging that, right? It's reached record heights. Nice. Good job, bro. Good job.
This past June, President Biden imposed tough new asylum restrictions. We know the numbers since then have dropped significantly. But my question to you tonight is, why did the administration wait until 6 months before the election to act? And would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. And let me say that the United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill, which I supported. And that bill would have put 1,500 more border agents on the border to help those folks who are working there right now overtime, trying to do their job. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States. I know there are so many families watching tonight who have been personally affected by the surge of fentanyl in our country. That bill would have put more resources to allow us to prosecute transnational criminal organizations for trafficking in guns, drugs, and human beings. But you know what happened to that bill? Donald Trump got on the phone, called up some folks in Congress, and said, kill the bill. And you know why? Because he'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And understand, this comes at a time where the people of our country actually need a leader who engages in solutions, who actually addresses the problems at hand. But what we have in the former president is someone who would prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And I'll tell you something, he's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject that is being raised. And I'm going to actually do something really
What do you
unusual.
mean it's
And
not
I'm
the-
going to invite you
Wait, what do you mean it's not the subject that is being raised? Huh?
to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
You are bringing up random shit. What do you mean like immigration is not part the question that was raised? You are bringing up random shit. What is this?
And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you. You will not hear him talk about your needs, your dreams, and your desires.
Again,
And I'll tell
emotional
you,
argument. Like people won't see through this, right? Like majority of the people won't see through this.
believe you deserve a president who actually puts you first, and I pledge to you that I will.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump, on that point, I want to get your response.
Well, I would like to respond.
Let me just ask, though, why did you try to kill that bill, and successfully so? That would have put
Hey,
thousands of additional...
this is not fair. This is not fair. Like she made a statement, give him a chance to respond to it, but instead he's gonna ask the question. He's gonna ask probably a charge question. He just asked like regarding the bill directly. He should have had the chance to respond however he wishes.
agents and officers
They are giving that to Kamala, but they are not giving that liberty to Trump.
on the border.
First, let me respond as to the
Please.
rallies.
See,
She said people start
he rightfully called the bullshit. He was like, let me just respond first.
leaving.
Nice.
People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there, and then showing them in a different light.
Wait, this is the DNC, right? Wait, DNC is the rally, right? I heard some funny shit happening over in DNC, bro. DNC. No. Yeah, Democratic National Convention. That's the rally, right? Yeah, I heard some funny shit happening over there once.
She can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. That's because people want to take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. And it happened 3.5 years ago. And what's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over.
Okay, they did, right? They did allow. She is not denying that. Even the moderator there, he asked by raising the question. It was like in record highs, illegal immigration happened during Biden and Harris' term, which is right.
The United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating.
Is this the thing you're talking about? I think he's talking like it probably happened. Some news came out. Some news came out. Maybe he's just mentioning that. It's not like a statement. He's just taking anecdotal examples, which even Kamala did so many times. Right. Immigrants. eating cats. It's a recent news. Hey, you can't say like he's saying something bad. It's a recent news. Asian immigrant eating pet cats and ducks of residents in Ohio. It's a real problem, even though it's anecdotal. It's an exceptional example, but it is. It just happened. It just happened. He's making a point, right? Asian immigrant. Oh, so this is the so many memes came in the last 2 days. Okay, it's regarding this. Fine, fine, fine. Wait, Trump pushes baseless claims about immigrants eating pets. But there is a news. He's talking about this particular news. Everybody knows that, right? It's a recent news. It's not even old. It's a recent news. But NBC, of course, it says Trump pushes baseless claim about immigrants eating pets. He's not saying every immigrant. God damn, bro. Why do they do this?
The pet that corresponds.
That was fun.
Or Springfield. A lot of
It's
towns
funny.
don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country. And it's a shame. As far as rallies are concerned,
You know what? Instead of dogs, he should have said ducks. Like maybe you know what? They can say he said inaccurate. He was inaccurate, but he can't. They can't say he's lying. He's not lying. Clearly, he's not lying. It's a news.
as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
I just want to
Because of the inflation. And by hearing her first point, right, giving out money to people like $6,000 and $25,000 down payment, that is exactly if she does that, if she does even half of that, it will be Venezuela on steroids because of the inflation. That's not how it works. Like, who is making these policies? I'm seriously
clarify here. You bring up
Concerned.
Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well,
All
I've
this.
seen people
Wait,
on
wait, wait.
television.
Let me just say.
wait, what?
Here, or he told us Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals.
Okay. Then what is this? Wait, is this not the? Okay, wait. Republican spread blazes stirs about cat-eating migrants in Ohio City. Haitian immigrant eating pets and cat dogs in Ohio City. Here's what we know. But it's a news, right? What do you mean it's a falsely? Huh? Wait. Before the debate. Let me go back to news before the debate. So after debate, everyone is saying Trump made the statement. But before the debate, for sure the news came out, right? And because he was just referring to that news. America's school election goes crazy to dogs as MAGA is with immigrants eat cats frenzy. Wait. Okay, they are saying it's a false claim. I mean, the mainstream news, we can't trust the mainstream news, man. Like, let me go back. How to go back, like, when the incident happened, if it ever happened. Okay, guys, we need to get the bottom of this. Are our pets safe? Pet, everyone cares about, right? Republicans, Democrats, we all care about our pets. We'll get to the bottom of it.
within the immigrant
We want our pets to be safe. I think we can all agree with that, right? And Trump is saying if illegal immigrants are going after our pets, we should stop the illegal immigrants, which I agree with that.
community.
Well,
all
I've
this.
seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
The people on
this is a
television say
clear-
my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good
Yeah.
thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
But the
television.
people are
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying their
manager.
dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice
We'll
President
find
Harris,
out.
I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
You talk about extreme. You know,
Okay, he made an exceptional argument. Exceptional in the sense he was talking about an anecdotal example, right? One single thing, one single incident, he was just mentioning that as a, I don't know, like a point for a debate, just like that. And she's gonna generalize it and she's gonna say, he told this about all immigrants, which he never did. Anyone with the brain can see that, right? Okay, shit. Bro, the news is gonna blow up this and make it say that like Trump said, you know what, the next 2 days it's gonna be the news is gonna be Trump said immigrants eat cats and dogs, immigrants eat pets. That's not what he said. This
is I
Even
think,
she took it like that. She took it like generally that's what he said. But it's not. I mean, if you hate Trump, that's how you will see it. If you like Trump, you will see how I see it. So the difference, right? We see what we want to see. Damn it.
one of the reasons why in this election I actually have the endorsement of 200 Republicans who have formerly worked with President Bush, Mitt Romney, and John McCain, including the endorsement of former Vice President Dick Cheney and Congress member Liz Cheney. And if you want to really know the inside track on who the former president is, if he didn't make it clear already, just ask people who have worked with him. His former chief of staff, a four-star general, has said he has contempt for the Constitution of the United States. His former national security advisor has said he is dangerous and unfit.
Wait, did I skip something? We were talking about pets. We were talking about immigrants and pets. Then why did we come into Constitution? Wait, did I miss anything? 1 second, bro. Wait.
Respond to the.
There.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that.
Yeah, we were talking about pets. We were talking about pets and immigrants. Then how did it suddenly come into Constitution?
On the inside track on worked with him. His former chief of staff, a four-star general, has said he has contempt for the Constitution of the United States. His former national security advisor has said he is dangerous and unfit. His former Secretary of Defense has said the nation, the republic, would never survive another Trump term. And when we listen to this kind of rhetoric, when the issues that affect the American people are not being addressed, I think the choice is clear in this election.
President Trump, I'll give you a quick minute to respond here.
Thank you, because when I hear that, see, I'm a different kind of a person. I fired most of those people. Not so graciously. They did bad things or a bad job. I fired them. They never fired one person. They didn't fire anybody having to do with Afghanistan and the Taliban and the 13 people who's were just killed, viciously and violently killed. And I got to know the parents and the family. They didn't fire. They should have fired all those generals, all those top people, because that was one of the most incompetently handled situations anybody has ever seen. So when somebody does a bad job, I fire him. And you take a guy like Esper. He was no good. I fired him. So he writes a book. Another one writes a book. Because with me, they can write books. With nobody else can they. But they have done such a poor job, and they never fire anybody. Look at the economy. Look at the inflation. They didn't fire any of their economists. They have the same people. That's a good way.
Yeah. You know, government should take some, like, hold people accountable, man. Like, somebody is giving advices on these economic policies, the border crisis, like all the issues that's happening, right? Drug epidemic and all. Somebody should be taking responsibility for it. Even for the lack of security when Trump was tried, the assassination attempt, right? Nobody was fired. they're like grossly not. I'm just saying that as a recent example, but with all the problems which are having, there are people who are responsible for it, right? And they should be held accountable. Like fire them, change them, but nope, they are all there. The same people are there doing the same mistake under the Biden administration, which Trump rightfully is calling out.
Not to have books written about you, but just to finish, I got more votes than any Republican in history by far. In fact, I got more votes than any president, sitting president in history by far.
Let me continue on immigration. It was what you wanted to
Yeah.
talk about earlier. So let's get back to your deportation
2016, bro.
proposal
2016
that
Trump
the
was-
vice president has reacted to as well. President Trump, you call this the largest domestic deportation operation in the history of our country. You say you would use the National Guard. You say if things get out of control, you'd have no problem using the U.S.
With local
military.
police, yes.
You also said you would use local police. How would you deport 11 million undocumented immigrants? I know you believe that number is much higher. Take us through this. What does this look like? Will authorities be going door to door in this country?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know what? Wait. Are we like acknowledging so undocumented like illegal immigrants? Just to say that illegal immigrants are there, and there are problems with that, right? So we can agree that with that. Like liberals, no, Democrats and Republicans both can agree with that, right? So the problem is there, and for Democrats the solution is give everyone citizenship. Oh, why? There are people who are the problematic people should be out of the country. They shouldn't be citizens. So that is their solution, and Trump's solution is get them out, which is right. I'm saying that's how it should be. You know, like for every other country, right? Let's say for like India, if I wanna be a US citizen, it's a 10-year process. I have to apply, and I have to work hard on my degree. I have to be an exceptional individual over here to apply to be a citizen in India. That's how like everyone, even my family, close relatives who became citizens of US, and they want to take that away from everyone. That's actually all the immigrants, right, who are legal immigrants who are there right now in the US. If the Democrats come into power, they'll be like, okay, then why did we struggle this much to come in this country? We could have just simply become an illegal immigrant and be a citizen.
It is much higher because of them. They allowed criminals, many millions of criminals. They allowed terrorists. They allowed common street criminals. They allowed people to come in, drug dealers, to come into our country. And they're now in the United States and told by their countries like Venezuela, don't ever come back or we're going to kill you. Do you know that crime in Venezuela and crime in countries all over the world is way down? You know why? Because they've taken their criminals off the street and they've given them to her to put into our country. And this will be one of the greatest mistakes in history for them to allow. And I think they probably did it because they think they're going to get votes, but it's not worth it because they're destroying the fabric of our country by what they've done. There's never been anything done like this at all. They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in, and all over the world, crime is down all over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime. And it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But Vice
Excuse me,
President
the
Harris,
FBI they were defrauding statements.
Wait, did you see that? Did you see his hands were shaking? Wait.
crime is actually
Yeah, you can't just simply lie, right? You can't just simply lie without being.
coming down in this country. But Vice
Excuse me,
President
the
Harris, I'll
FBI
give you the-
defrauded.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
Statements.
crime is actually coming down in this country. But Vice
Excuse me,
President
the
Harris, I'll
FBI
give you the-
defrauded.
He's shivering,
they were
bro.
defrauding statements. They didn't include the worst cities. They didn't include the cities with the worst crime. It was
Regarding the crime, right? Everybody knows that, right? Everybody knows regarding the crime. Hey, shit, I'm clicked somewhere else. Okay, regarding the crime, everyone knows, right? In major cities, what's happening. How are they even denying it?
She went out in Minnesota.
During this election.
President Trump, I'll give you a quick minute to respond here.
Thank you. Because I fired him, so he writes a book. Another one writes, told by their countries like Venezuela, don't ever come back or we're going to kill you. Do you know that crime in Venezuela and crime in countries all over the world is way down? You know why? Because they've taken their criminals off the street and they've given them to her to put into our country. And this will be one of the greatest mistakes in her is to allow
How the president has reacted.
finish. I got more. That's look at the poor because has ever seen. So when somebody does a bad job, I fire them. And you take a guy like fabric of our country by what they've done. There's never been anything done like this at all. They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in. And all over the world, crime is down all over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime. And it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But Vice
Excuse me,
President
the
Harris,
FBI they were defrauding statements. They didn't include the worst cities. They didn't include the cities with the worst crime.
Yeah, why do you need a statement from FBI regarding this? Bro, people can see it in their own eyes. Like Daily News, just open the news and see what's happening, bro. Shit. They are like making a statement saying, okay, it's fine, the crime is going down. But clearly in your real life, you can see it's not. Okay.
It's a fraud, just like their number of 818,000 jobs that they said they created turned out to be a fraud.
President Trump, thank you. I'll let you respond, Vice President Harris.
Well, I think this is so rich, coming from someone who has been prosecuted for national security crimes, economic crimes, election interference, has been found liable for sexual assault, and his next big court appearance is in November at his own criminal sentencing. And let's be clear where each person stands on the issue of what is important.
Yeah, regarding
about
that,
respect
right? Like convicting Trump. How is no one talking about this, man? If this happened anywhere in the country, anywhere, any other country, like the whole world media will be on their back, like convicting their political opponent. Only in US, bro. Only in US.
for the rule of law and respect for law enforcement. The former vice president called for defunding federal law enforcement, 45,000 agents, get this, on the day after he was arraigned on 34 felony counts. So let's talk about what is important in this race. It is important that we move forward, that we turn the page on this same old tired rhetoric and address the needs of the American people, address what we need to do about the housing shortage, which I have a plan for, address what we must do to support.
Yeah, her plan, all that's gonna do is increase the prices further. It won't decrease the price, no. Okay, now no one can't afford house. More people won't be able to afford house if that plan is implemented. Why is no one calling this out?
Support our small businesses, address bringing down the price of groceries. But frankly, the American people are exhausted with this same old tired playbook.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
Excuse me. Every one of those cases was started by them against their political opponent. And I'm winning most of them, and I will win the rest on appeal.
Yeah, I'm saying, why is the news, any news, not calling them out, man? Why? What is this? Like I'm saying, if this is happening in any other country, which is especially if it's a rival or not with the US or any other country, everyone will like human rights. All the things will be pounding on that country with against the ruling party because they are going legally against the political opponent. But only in US.
And you saw that with the decision that came down just recently from the Supreme Court. I'm winning most of them. But those are cases, it's called weaponization. Never happened in this country.
Nice,
They
nice.
weaponized
Trump is
the
calling it what it is, man. Nice.
Justice Department. Every one of those cases was involved with the DOJ, from Atlanta and Fani Willis to the Attorney General of New York and the DA in New York. Every one of those cases. And then they say, oh, he's a criminal. They're the ones that made them go after me. By the way, Joe Biden was found essentially guilty on the documents case. And what happened in my documents case? They said, oh, that's the toughest of them all. A complete and total victory. 2 months ago, it was thrown out. It's weaponization, and they used it, and it's never happened in this country. They used it to try and win an election.
President
They're
Trump,
fake cases.
President Trump, thank you. A really quick response here, Vice President
Nice.
Harris, on this notion of weaponization of the Justice Department.
Is it
Well,
not?
Let's talk about extreme and understand the context in which this election in 2024 is taking place. The United States Supreme Court recently ruled that the former president would essentially be immune from any misconduct if he were to enter the White House again. Understand, this is someone who has openly said he would terminate, I'm quoting, terminate the
This
Constitution.
is clearly weaponization. That statement she just made. She's like, if he become president, he'll be immune, so don't make him the president. But you started, the Democrats started the case. They went after him. That's the weaponization. Respond to that. Instead of she's just proving the point, proving Trump's point regarding the weaponization. Nice.
Constitution of the United States, that he would weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. Someone who has openly expressed
Wait. You are saying Trump is gonna do that if he become president? You guys are ruling and you are doing that exactly. You are just exactly doing that. Okay, she's deflecting nicely. She's saying she's not talking about us doing it or not, but she's saying he will do it if he become president. Nice.
disdain for members of our military. Understand what it would mean if Donald Trump were back in the White House with no guardrails, because certainly we know now the court won't stop him. We know J.D. Vance is not going to stop him. It's up to the American people
Vice
to
President
stop
Harris,
him.
thank you. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president.
This is the one that weaponized, not me. She
Yeah,
weaponized.
yeah. They weaponized. Democrats did weaponize it. That's not a lie. They did weaponize it. And her response regarding to that statement was, once he gets into the office, he will weaponize it. In the future, he may do that. But you are doing it right now.
Probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me. They talk
Yeah.
about democracy. I'm a
Yeah,
threat to democracy.
guys, regarding
They're-
the assassination attempt, right? Just seeing that was like epic, bro. Like, okay, not him being harmed or he could have potentially died. I'm not saying that was epic, but you can clearly see the universe, right? Universe not saving him, making him turn the head so that he is not shot. That was like clearly a sign. I don't know, like if you guys believe in that or not. It's clearly a sign he's the chosen one. He's the Neo. Neo 2024.
the threat to democracy
President
with a fake
Trump.
Russia investigation
We do have a lot to
that
get-
went nowhere.
We have
That was fake. During 2020, it was all Russia, right? That turned out to be fake, but no one's talking about it. Nobody cares. Now that's over.
a lot to get to. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president, you said you wanted to ban fracking. Now,
Guys, there's a power cut over here. There's a mat remaining. I don't want to say that. Okay, there's a power cut over here. So I will watch it. We'll continue from here. I'll end this stream for now. Fine. I'll see you all later. Bye. It was getting interesting, man. By the way, I don't think the power will come back. They were saying it's like a maintenance thing. The power's gonna be out for some time. Anyway, I'll see you all